Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is you celebrate. I hope that it is a good one. Jesse here for 3 Prong Gaming, and in today's episode, we are going to get started on our residential AI stuff going on, and should be relatively short and easy episode. So let's go ahead and get this thing started.
It is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Right, in the last episode we finished up our construction process, so that our NPC can go around and find a job and then go do what they need to do to construct buildings, and we did some debugging. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out. But yeah, like I said, today's episode should be relatively short and sweet, hopefully, if all goes well. You can see here, I just, for the holidays, I just thought I'd have a little bit of fun and create a snow particle effect. I'm not going to show you guys this. This is actually pretty easy to do. However, I just whipped it up. I will put the link in the description of where I got it from. It's pretty easy. Like I said, it's about a 5-minute video. Guy does a pretty good job with his tutorial. No sense in me recreating it since it is his word and not mine. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this. I just did that for the intro. So let's get this going. First, I guess I'll take a minute and talk to you guys. I know I didn't upload 2 videos last week, and you won't get 2 this week. It's just the holiday season. And next week you might only get 1 video again as well. I'll try to punch 2 out next week, but we'll have to see how it goes. One of the things, I have been actually pretty busy. I've been wanting to talk to you guys about this, but wasn't quite sure, and I still can't give you too much details. But a few weeks ago, I had one of my subscribers contact me and ask me to join their team to create a game, and they were already had the process going, but they lost their lead developer, or they weren't happy with them. So they saw what I did in my videos here and thought I could be of some use. So I've been working with them, and we're creating a game, and we were hoping to submit it for some grant money, but we're going to miss that deadline. Not a big deal, but we're rebuilding that project and getting it up, and as I can tell you guys more, I will tell you more. But I just want to let you know that is consuming quite a bit of my time, but I'm still trying to punch the videos out here as well as work on that program as well. So if there are those weeks that I can't get a couple videos up, then that's probably why. But like I said, this week and probably next week is mostly just the holidays. So I will definitely let you guys know more about that. It is going to be a pretty cool game, I think. It's going to be a pretty cool game. And so as soon as I can release some more information, then I will do that. And I will definitely hype it up and show it off on the channel as we draw closer, get some videos and some matinees and things like that. Just to try to get you guys excited and know about it, and get the word spread out there, because we definitely want people to know about it, because we probably will be starting a Kickstart. So, but in order to do that, we're going to have to get the word out there. So we'll figure something out. And as soon as I can release some more information, I definitely will. Cool. So let's go. Since we're doing residency, let's go ahead and jump down here into our structs. Open up your NPC profile struct, and we're going to have to add a new one here. So go ahead and open that up. A new variable. Let's just go ahead and call this one residency. And we will make it of type residential master BP. Click reference, save it. That's all we need for that. Close that out, and Control S. Let's go ahead and save that. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and open up the NPC behavior tree. Right, here's what we have so far. We've got our unemployment and our construction, and not at the office, etc., etc., etc. So now we're going to create a branch here. Housing is going to be the very first step that we're going to need to do. All right, we don't want to go working if we don't have a place to live. There's going to be a certain order of things that we're going to have to go through in here, but housing is going to be the number one. But unlike construction, where you have to have a building into the world in order to have a job, to be able to get a job, residential is going to be a little bit different, because like I mentioned in one of the previous episodes, the NPC is not going to come into the world, go start a new business and work at that. That's just not the way that the game's designed to work. I mean, you probably could, but that's not really realistic. However, with the housing, we're going to make it to where when they spawn into the world, if there is no residential buildings, then they're just going to go and build a shack and set up home there. And then as soon as they build a shack or find some place to live to call home, then they'll trigger over here into the working and whatever else. We're going to have a bunch of stuff in here, but yeah, then they'll default into the next thing. So in order for us to do that, what we're going to need to do, let's go ahead and drag this up a little bit. We're going to need another selector here. So let's just drag off of this and do selector. All right, and then from here, we'll just go ahead and hook this one. What do we want to do? We need to actually, yeah, let's go ahead and we'll drag this, we'll drag this down into here. And we're going to create another node here. So go ahead and pull off of this. And let's do another selector. And we'll just, we'll just pull this off here. And we'll call this one homeless. Yeah. Go ahead and change that. Homeless. What we're going to do here, the reason why we're naming this homeless is just like we have this working. We're going to set up an AI state. And that's going to trigger. So we're going to need a service in here that's going to decide which of these branches that we're going to have along is going to be running at any particular time. It's going to be kind of our grandmaster of decisions. And so homeless over here, this is going to be all the branch for if we're homeless, we're going to run this. We're going to look for residential. We're going to look for, if we can't find residential, then we're going to look for, or we're going to build a shack. So let's go ahead and pull off of this and we'll do a sequence. Let's go ahead and call this one find existing house. All right, we're not going to do anything with these today. Like I said, this is going to be a pretty simple episode sequence right here. But I'm just going to lay it out so you can kind of see what is going on. And we'll call this node build shack. Okay, so even though this is a selector, once the sequence is done, if we do find a housing within here, it's going to automatically set our AI state. So it will never reach build shack. But if this fails out, it'll come up here and it'll run build shack. And then once we're done building a shack, it'll come up here, trigger our AI state in our service, and then do whatever is next on the list to do. So let's go ahead and create a new service. Right click, we will do it off of the blueprint base. Select it like I like to do. Let's go up and rename it right away. Do this and we will call this S_AI state. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this. And this will eventually get relatively complicated. I have a lot of stats like hunger and sleep, or stamina, I think is what I called it. And a couple others, I think, set up to where if you get tired, then you're going to go to your house and go to sleep. If you're hungry, you're going to go to the restaurant, blah, blah, blah. So, but the way I have it set up is it'd probably be the way I show you guys, at least initially. But yeah, we're going to end up doing some weighted factors. In other words, how it decides. But right now, we're just going to kind of do it linear. And yeah, I'll kind of explain as we move along. Let's go ahead and add in a receive, execute, or yeah, receive, what the? Receive, oh yeah, this is a service, so it's tick, receive tick AI. Sorry about that, I'm confused myself there for a second. So we need a, let's go ahead down here, open up move to location. All we need is to cast the pawn. So go ahead and select this one, Control C. We can close that out, come over here into AI state, Control V. Oops, Control V, drop that in here like we've done so many times in the past. Drop that in there, Control pawn, hook that up, execution. Let's jump in here, right click, create variable, pawn. All right, now that that's all set up, what we need to do now is we need to get our pawn. There it is right there. Let's get it, pull off of this, and let's get my profile. And this one we can go ahead and just split the struct. So go ahead and right click on here, split the struct bit. Now we got our new My Profile residency right there. What we need to do is we need to pull off of this and we need to go is valid. Let's go ahead and do the one with the question mark because that includes the branch for us, so we don't have to run a separate branch off of it. All right, got that hooked up. So let's just go with the is not valid. If you don't have My Profile residency, then what we need to do is we need to create a new variable here, and this isn't going to be hooked up yet, but we need to go AI state, hit enter. We will make it of type Blackboard key selector. Make sure it's editable. All right, so now that we got something to hook this up to, we could hook all this up. Actually, let's go ahead and do that now. We'll just finish up with this, and then we'll go set this up in the Blackboard. Grab your AI state. Let's get it. And let's go ahead and set Blackboard value as enum. All right, so we got this. Now we don't have an enum for this yet. So let's go ahead and create the enum now. Let's go ahead and jump into our enums, and we need to create a new one. Let's call this blueprint enumeration. Let's call this one AI state underscore enum. Open this up, and we need two of them for now. First one, we're going to go ahead and call this one homeless. And the second one, let's go ahead and call this one working. Save that. We can go ahead and close this out right now. We're not going to need that again for a while. So what we need to do now is just go ahead and right click, and let's do a literal AI state enum right there. Select that and plug that into the value of our set Blackboard key. And we want this as homeless, because if this is not valid, it means we don't have a home. So we're going to set our AI state right here to homeless. Okay. So, but if it is valid, what we're going to need to do now is let's just go ahead and grab our AI state right here. Let's get it. Get Blackboard value as enum. All right, let's go ahead. I think we could do this without setting up the Blackboard yet. Let's go ahead and drop that one, and let's do byte to enum AI state. All right, so we got that. So go ahead and pull off of this now. Let's go ahead and do a literal enum AI state under utilities right here. We don't want the byte. We want the literal enum AI state enum. All right, pull that off. And then from this, let's go ahead and do not equals enum, not the byte. Again, we want the enum. All right, so now if we are not equal, and this is mostly going to be just fallback. It's just kind of a safety net in case we forget to do something down the road. But let's go ahead. If we are not working, then what we need to do is we just need to go ahead and punch out a branch right here. Plop that in, hook in the is valid. And then if it's true, if we are not equal to working, that means right here, we do have a residency because it's valid. We come up here and our current AI state is not set to working. Then what we need to do is we just need to take our AI state. We'll go ahead and just copy this, plug it into the true. And then we just need to take, we could probably grab that too, dump that in here, and we will set this to working. All right, like I said, this is mostly just a fallback. This really should hopefully never really run, but we kind of got to have it. As we add stuff to this, like is hungry, is tired, this will be at the very end. It's just a safety net for us. This hopefully should never really run because we're going to set, once we find a house, we're not going to rely on the service to really set this for us. After we find the house, we're going to automatically set the AI state for us. All right. So there it is. Go ahead and take a quick look at that. All right. So there's that. Remember, in a service, we've got the tick. There is no finish execute or finish tick or anything like that in here. All right. So that's all we need for this for now anyways. Like I said, that's going to be pretty full after a while. So go ahead and right click this main selector right here, do add service, find your SAI state, and AI state is not selected. It's got self-actor right now. What we need to do is we need to go into the Blackboard, create a new key. This will be of enum. Let's call this one AI state. And over here in the keys, open this up, enum type, AI state enum, and that should do it. We don't need anything else in here. You can write a description if you want. This is the current state of the MPC. All right, go ahead and save that out. Jump back into the behavior tree. Now let's go ahead and select that service again. Now the AI state is not a self-actor. What we need is the AI state. Cool. So whatever the AI state is set to is what it's going to set right there. So now what we need to do to know the difference between these is let's just go ahead up over here to the homeless, right click on that, do add decorator. We're going to choose the Blackboard decorator, select it, and let's go ahead and change the name is homeless. All right. So what we need to do is we need the Blackboard key. We need it down to AI state. The key value is homeless is equal to homeless. That's the only time we want to run this is if the AI state is set to homeless. Okay. Now we come down here to working and pretty much the same thing. We really could probably just take this and Control W. Is that going to work? Nope. You just duplicate it right there. We'll just take it and drop it right in there. Change this to is working and change the AI state from homeless to working is equal to awesome. One thing we need to do though with both of these is we need to set an abort, okay? Because this AI state is continually ticking between 0.4 and 0.6 seconds. Since this is our master one, this could change at any time. In other words, even though we might be in the middle of looking for a house or we might be in the middle of working, if all of a sudden we get to a critical point or the NPC gets to a critical point where they're hungry and they have to eat, we need them to abort what they're doing here. That's why, like down here in the move to task, we set up this event receive abort, because when we abort, we want this to run. We want to stop movement, clear out our location, our destination, clear out our current location, and then finish abort. So that's why we set up this abort, is specifically for this reason here. Okay, so if this main AI state decides to switch and abort and move on to a different branch, we've got to handle it within each branch. So what we need to do is let's go ahead and start with is homeless. Go ahead and we need to set the notify observer to on value change. Observer aborts self. We only want it to abort itself if it receives an abort. So it'll receive an abort if this switches. Okay. So no matter what it's doing in here, if we're in here and this decides to abort out of finding a home, then it will handle it properly as long as we have abort commands within it. All right. Is equal to, yep, self abort. So now we need to come over here to is homeless or is working. Same thing. Value change. Observer aborts itself. So yeah, there we go. And this tells you exactly being self what it's going to abort. So if we changed it to lower priority, it wouldn't show anything. If we go up here, let's show lower priority, because this is the first. So this would technically be lower. So if we went lower priority, if this gets an abort execute, it's going to abort all this instead of itself. Okay. And if we do both, then it's going to do everything. It's going to do everything itself as well as everything off to the right. Even if we have another branch here, it's going to abort that as well. But we want self. Go back over here, select this again to self. Perfect. Compile it or save it. I guess you can't compile your behavior tree. That's it. That's all we're going to do for today. Yeah, we got this set up just because at this point it's going to get a little bit more involved. Just like we did here in the working area, it's probably going to take a bunch of bits and pieces. Some of the code we're going to have to put on the AI controller. Some might go onto the MPC blueprint, and then we're going to have to create probably another task or two. This homeless task over here, I know we've spent some time over here trying to make these as reusable as possible, and we will be able to reuse a lot of these in this area up into here. But finding housing is probably very specific to almost anything else we're doing. So it's going to require its own special tasks and probably decorators. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do me a favor, go down and hit that like button. It helps me out a ton. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe while you're down there liking it. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and check those out. Information should be there on the screen for you. I will not spam your feed. Check out one of the other videos that are playing on the screen. Until next time, peace.